Hello and welcome to my channel. I decided today that I wanted to use this black paper. It's one that I've had a while and I haven't used it too much, but it's a really nice paper, so I thought I wanted to use it and make use of it. So it's a Frisk one and it's A4 and it's 135 gram. Like I said, I've not used it much, so I did think, well, what can I do? And I wanted to work just in white and draw negatively really. So I'm using a Conte crayon, or Conte pencil should I say, and obviously that's a nice bright white that I've just sharpened to try and get a nice point on it. And what I thought I would do was an artist's copy really. Now when I was at school I used to hate doing artist copies because I think when you're young you just want to do your own thing. Well, even now you want to do your own thing, you don't want to be copying somebody else, you want to use your own ideas and your own sketches and drawings. But actually you learn a lot from looking at other artists' work, and sometimes when you study somebody else's work it makes you look at things in a different way. So I really like some of Rodin's work, well, all of Rodin's work, and this one, let's see what it's called. It's actually called Despair and it's a bronze done in 1890. So it's a very simple figure. Some of the figures in this book are rather complicated. It's a lovely book if you did want to have a look at the book itself. It's just called Rodin and Eros, and it's one I've had for a while, but I really like it for a reference book as well as anything else, looking at figures. So it's quite a simple figure compared to some of his more complicated ones in here, which is why I thought I would choose to do it today. So basically I'm just going to look at the highlights instead of looking at the shadows and the midtones. Start really with the highlights and work backwards towards some of these midtones. So I'm going to have to go quite light. Here I'll start with putting these very bright whites in, where it's, because it's bronze, it's obviously catching the light. So I'll put some of these brighter colours in to begin with. Then some of these midtones I'll just have to use my pencil very lightly, maybe just smudge it a little with my finger, and then I'll perhaps put a midtone around it to show up some of these darker areas. So I won't talk through the whole thing. I'll put some music or something to that because it could take me a while. I'll probably speed it up, but I just thought you might like to see how it's, you know, a good way to use your black paper is to work sort of backwards, start with your highlights, leave the black paper for your darker shadows and look at those midtones in between. So I won't bother with this rock at all. I'll use, you know, this figure on the page and not worry about the rock. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If there are any other subjects you'd like me to tackle in the future videos, just let me know and I'll try and get onto those as soon as possible. Okay, thank you for watching and I'll see you again soon. Hello, I'm back again. I just wanted to say a couple of things about how I've struggled with this, and hopefully that might be of help to you. So really you need to very carefully observe what you're drawing to begin with. If you look at this, I hadn't realised that this foot here, she's actually got a leg. This leg is going straight up here and along here behind. So that's what this shadow is here, it's a leg. So getting that on here with the shadow, it's quite difficult to make it look realistic as she is, because obviously this is done out of a big chunk of bronze, and here we've got two hands and a foot all merged together, and I wanted to make it look a bit more lifelike, a bit more as if I was drawing a person rather than copying a bronze. So I've altered it a little bit. I've actually slimmed her down quite a bit, haven't I? I usually do that the other way around. I usually make people chubbier than they are, but so I did find this arm and foot here quite tricky, because like I say, it's all out of one chunk of bronze, and it's made it quite heavy looking. Her arm looks quite heavy on there. So I've changed that a little bit, but it does, like I say, it makes you look. And the other thing I just wanted to say was, you would see me at the end there with the eraser, where it is very, very dark. If you come back at the end, because when you've been smudging with your finger, even without thinking about it, you've got rid of some of that very darkest black. So it does, the good thing about this Conte crayon is, with a decent eraser, it does rub off quite easily. And you do need that mid-tone behind to make those blacks look dark as well. So your shadows aren't going to look dark enough if your highlights aren't bright enough and you haven't got your mid-tones there. So just really think about that. This does need a little bit more work on this arm. I wasn't happy with that, but I'll just leave the focus to this part of her really, where you've got that lovely, I'm quite happy with this part. You've got a lovely shape of a spine there, the way she's curved over sitting down. Okay, but a good little exercise. If you've got some books, any pictures that you want to have a go at, just look at the tones, the lightest highlights, the darker shadows and the mid-tones. It's just a very good exercise in drawing and getting some practice in. Okay, so thanks once again for watching, and I'll be back with you again soon. Bye for now.